Well, howdy everyone. Welcome to a stock market weekly recap. You already know what it's like. Talking about the last 5 days in the market. What happened this past week? Well, let's just start it off talking about the Dow Jones, as we typically do. Down 2.7% this week. And the Dow, all things considered, not awful. We're going to get into news after this, and there's a lot of news. So if you think about the fact that overall, we didn't see much of a awful downward move beyond 3% around there. It's pretty crazy, all things considered. So year to date on the Dow, down 26.23. You see on the chart positive Monday, Tuesday. Then the rest of the week was pretty well just down flat, nothing good. From the S&P 500, we'll see a similar chart going on here, down 2.08% on the week. Down 23% year to date. Nothing too exciting going on with the S&P 500. In difference to the Dow, at least. For the Nasdaq, you see only 0.1 or 1.72% down for the week, and actually year to date only down 17.83, which seems pretty crazy. Am I wrong? It seems crazy for the amount of turmoil that we've been hit with. I think it's crazy that they're ending up not down all that bad in terms of the Nasdaq. So we'll get into some news articles right now. Some things that I found pretty important. Obviously, if we just talk about stocks in general, I think things are pretty well hammered overall. I think there's a good more room for us to go down. I think most of the economic impact was priced in. I don't know if necessarily people are expecting this next couple weeks is going to be rough for the United States, no doubt, in terms of what we see from this pandemic. And I don't know what that's going to do to the market. I really don't. So I'll be interested to see what happens there. I know I'm still at work. They just ordered a state lockdown for me, so that'll be an interesting one to see. I don't go anywhere anyways, really, besides work, so I'll still be going to work. So we'll see. As far as news is concerned, you've got AT&T boosting benefits for consumers and first responders. They are offering 500 free hours of HBO programming for all people starting today. More investments. So starting today and running through May 13th, the company is automatically increasing mobile hotspot data by 15 gigs a month. Why you need mobile hotspot data when you're not allowed out of the house? It's iffy. I don't know about that one. For each line, and an unlimited plan that has a tethering allotment. Very cool stuff. So just cool stuff in terms of that. But regardless, I don't know if you're not allowed out of your house, I don't know if you need that data. But if you'd rather use data than your Wi-Fi, if your Wi-Fi is slow, I get it. It's also offering free express shipping for new/upgraded devices, alongside with waiving crediting activation, upgrade, and restocking fees, and 20% off accessories orders online. And that comes with curbside pickup or doorstep delivery. Meanwhile, with first responders, AT&T committed $5.5 million for first responders for meals, free FirstNet ready phones for life. I think those are prepaid phones, so if they want to get into the drug dealing business, activation credits and 60 days of free telehealth. So cool for them. You'll see this with a lot of companies that are really trying to benefit and do great things for first responders and just their consumers in general. And I think that's companies you can tell that are run pretty well. AT&T, obviously a very well-run company. I have quite a bit of a position in AT&T so far, and I'd like to see, if the stock keeps going down, I'll be gladly adjusting and continuing to build to that position, no doubt about it. So another one of those stocks that I'm looking to add. So we also have the FDA announcing initiatives for antibody blood products. So one thing that I think is really cool that I don't know if a lot of people actually know about is, such as with any sort of virus or illness, there are people who are frankly immune. So there are people who are born with antibodies in their body, specific cells that can actually attack these viruses that really they can't infect the individual. So It happens with any sort of virus. Anyone has them, even if it's a virus that's new, people still have antibodies in them. So that's what I think is really, really interesting stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes, but it's an interesting thing. Interesting thing. That's about all I could say for you. We have on top of the AT&T news. I didn't combine them just because I felt like you needed a little break. But AT&T has stopped selling the U-verse TV. The next step is a fade out of the legacy IPTV service, which is good because, let's be fair, cable's a dying service for the most part. They're not going to be growing user base at all. They've been declining user base for quite a while in terms of cable, and they will continue to decline, no doubt. So it's good that they're phasing that out. No doubt about it. It's really good. And again, a good sign of management team when they know that the business is not actually doing well. They know it's not something that they want. They go ahead and change it. That's what I like about this company. They're doing well. We have Kraft Heinz cutting output at 3 plants. So they're cutting output at 2 plants in the U.S. and 1 in the U.K. amid demand drop in restaurant supplies due to the pandemic, while additional shifts have been added at the packaged food units to meet with demand for the macaroni and cheese, the canned beans and soups. So food is flying hot off the shelves, but the restaurant supply type things, really a lot of these small businesses aren't in business right now. They just aren't. But people are still going to buy the freaking crap out of any foodstuffs people are all into. Operations in China are returning to normal now, but he feels that consumers' behavior has changed and individuals are using more home deliveries. So, interesting stuff. We've got some good news in terms of potentials here. We have Gilead ramping up the production of remdesivir, working with regulatory authorities to start additional expanded access programs for remdesivir. Its investigational medicine chairman and CEO Daniel O'Day wrote on the company's website, such programs allows hospitals and physicians to apply for emergency use of the treatment for several severely ill patients at a time, multiple severely ill patients to say. Even though the medicine isn't yet approved, Gilead is taking the step of expanding production to increase supply. As a result, we have reduced the end-to-end manufacturing timeline to approximately 1 year to around 6 months. So, interesting stuff. An existing supply, including finished products, investigative medicine, amounts to 1.5 million individual doses, which could equate to more than 140,000 treatment courses for patients. So, interesting stuff. All existing supply at no cost to treat patients with most severe symptoms. So, very cool stuff. As far as his goals, by 500,000 by October, seems like a really useless thing. I don't know. It'll maybe come into fruition if we find a second wave of this thing. We'll see how that goes. But company hate to waste money on something that you don't need. But if they need it, it'd be cool though. We have Disney Plus launching in India finally, so good for them. Huge growth for users in terms of them if this is successful, and I think it will be. So they're going to see a large user growth because of that. I think it's awesome for them. We have the jobs report. It's a pitiful jobs report, down 701,000 versus a consensus of 150. Not really unexpected. This is the first unemployment decline since 2010. Unemployment rate's at 4.4. Versus a prior 3.5. This is the largest month-over-month decline since January of 1975. You hate to say it. You really do hate to see it. People are really at this point. What I think is kind of rough here as far as this. If you think about the stimulus package, really what they did was they offered a lot more benefits in terms of unemployment, $600 extra a week compared to what they normally get from the state. So we're talking about people getting, $900 checks every week. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been working consistently for quite a while since I turned 16. I mean, I just now, after earning my way through working for a company for 4 years, earned my way to where I'm making more than that, $900 a week. But $900 a week is a lot of money. That's a lot of freaking money. I mean, I don't know if that is a very good part of the stimulus package. It really encourages a lot more people to not work. Frankly, it doesn't, and I get a lot of people can't work, but there are companies that need work right now. Your companies like your Walmarts and your other retailers, they need help right now. They need seasonal work just for that time being, so instead of people having unemployment, they could actually be working. It just makes it hard for, once we get out of this, what's going to get those people back into the workforce if they know they're already getting a good wage for at least another, 6 months to a year because the government did this. I don't know. In my perspective, I don't think there should have been unemployment benefits. I think the unemployment benefit should have been an increased one-time payment on the stimulus package. I think that should have been included with anyone that had been unemployed. Or I really think it should have only gone to people who have been unemployed. People who are still working really probably shouldn't have gotten the one-time payment, or shouldn't be getting the one-time payment until they get unemployed, in my opinion. So, but now with these unemployment benefits, I'm just scared to see what havoc that wreaks for afterwards. So, I don't know what this jobs report's going to look like for the end of the year, but we'll see. But again, we have Walmart. Saw a 20% sales jump in March. Crazy. And that's right. 30% in e-commerce as well during that time, which is kind of, normally they're going around 30-40% in e-commerce, but grocery sales powered the sales gain with downloads of the Walmart's online grocery mobile app. Reported to have skyrocketed. People don't want to go into the Walmarts even. They want people to go out and, pick their supplies and go bring them to their car for them. So that's exciting. It's a business of ours that's definitely skyrocketing as well. So it's just really cool to see. Walmart's doing super well, and regardless of this condition, I'm glad that Walmart's my biggest position in the market for me, because, well, it's not only going to earn me a nice dividend through this, but it's a consistent stock, and it's going to stay around this 110 range, no doubt, through the end of this. So I'm excited to see what happens. That is your recap for the week, though.